If you are interested in learning more about what I have on offer, then head to my website, ColeChanceYoga.com. I do addiction recovery explorations, yoga teacher trainings, and retreats all over the world. So would love to connect with you on a deeper level. Please do reach out. Let's begin lying on the back. Bring the soles of the feet down onto the ground. Just feel all the points of contact with the floor. Big inhale. Full exhale out the mouth. And bring the hands down by the sides. Plant either the pinky edge of the hand into the ground, or you can plant the full palm in the ground. Just gonna do a couple rolling bridges to get a bit of movement in the spine. So to begin, bring the low back down. Often there's a little gap right there. So bring the low back down to touch the ground. It'll lift the hips just slightly and then push down into the feet so you can roll the spine up. Squeeze the knees towards each other. They're kind of spiraling towards each other, not actually coming together. So a little bit of an energetic spiral together. And then spine and the upper back comes down, and then low back, and then hips coming all the way down to the ground. We'll begin to do this with breath. First the low back, then the hips. Go and lift the arms with you. As you lift the hips up, the arms come up, and then backwards coming back down. Mid back, low back, hips, trying to coordinate the hands as best as possible. And then inhale, come up. Remember, as you come up, if you notice the knees going out, see if you can spiral the thighs towards one another. Continue with your breath once more. Pull the knees into the chest, hands at the backs of the thighs or the front of the knees. And we're gonna roll up and down the spine 2 or 3 times. So you can make these big or little baby ones. And then coming to a seat, Sukhasana, legs are crossed. Maybe something underneath the booty if you'd like. We won't be here too long. But hands to the shins and take some big spirals of the spine. Just investigating, researching what's happening in the spine this morning. So a few spirals, and then let's move it on this plane. So bring the hands to the knees and push into the knees so the heart can pull forward. Heart lifts, throat opens, gaze is up, and then the other way around. Tuck the chin to the chest, round the back, pull belly to spine, and push into the knees. So cat-cow in the spine here. Inhale, come forward, open up. And then exhale, reverse it. Once more. And exhale. Then let's go side to side with the spine as well. So the right hand plants, reach the fingers out, kind of tiptoe them out. The opposite sit bone roots down, left arm up and over. And try to stay kind of leaning back slightly in the shoulders. So inhale, the left arm comes up. Let yourself be lifted, and then we'll switch sides. So reach as far as you can out. Big reach over. Inhale, right arm lifts, be lifted. Other side. So exhale brings you down. Inhale brings you up. Once more each side. And then coming back to center, tabletop position. If you have blocks, you can bring them towards the top of the mat. I've been really liking to use blocks lately. You can use them in cat-cow if you'd like. Sometimes the fingers will go off the edges, and that's fine. Just really kind of gripping down, lifting up through the center of the palm, doing that whether you have the blocks or not. And just take some organic movement here. So see if you can move in a pattern that's maybe different than the one you initially want to go in. Being curious. And then tucking the toes, sending the sit bones up and back, like sticking the booty out, pressing down into the hands and slightly lifting the knees, finding a bit of buoyancy, and then be guided by the hips as you go back, downward dog. Really generous and soft in the knees and the elbows. And then walk the feet up towards the hands. You can switch the height of your block, maybe to the highest setting, and just wave the spine a few times. Inhale, halfway lift. So the crown of the head is reaching forward, the sit bones are reaching back. You can even take your thumbs and place them into the hip creases and kind of push back a little bit, and imagine that your spine, heart could grow a little bit longer, and then fold from that space. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, get really long. Exhale, fold down. And once more. Inhale, get really, really long. And let's take the hands to the hips, bend the knees down, and then gaze forward. Sit back into the hips and then press down through the feet to come up. So coming up a little bit different. Tadasana. Separate the feet so they're underneath the hips. Press down through the footprint and lift up through the arch. So the part not touching the ground, really lift up there. Slight separation in the heels, so you have a little bit of internal rotation, inner spiral with the thighs. Palms facing forward. And then inhale, turn the palms out, external rotation, lift up heavy air. Arms lift up and sink the hips back. So we're in a chair pose here, but buoyant in the knees, in the feet, and then cactus the arms. We're gonna do cat-cow in chair pose. So kind of round the back, bring the hands forward, maybe they even touch, and then inhale, cactus the arms, and imagine you could like vacuum up through the palms of the hands. Exhale, round, come forward, maybe sink more in the hips, and then inhale, open, suck up. Exhale, curl down. Once more, inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, hips are moving back, heart's moving forward, and big step back with the right foot. Back knee plants down, and as it does, let that rebound the torso up. Press down through the left foot and pull knee and foot towards one another. And exhale, hands come down, lengthen the front leg, pour forward. Inhale, halfway lift, wave the spine. Same kind of thinking, like you could pull back at the hips to lengthen forward and dive forward. Bend in the front leg. You can move the blocks forward if you have them. Big shift as you come up into L shape. Soft bend in the left knee. Pull back on the left hip crease. Reaching forward, right toes go off left side of the mat. Curtsy pose, bend the knees, take a bow, hands wave back. Full exhale here. Inhale, gather up energy from the earth and bring it with you. Right foot meets the left. Exhale, hands to heart center and down by the sides. And separate the feet again just slightly. We'll do this on the other side. So Tadasana, full round of breath here, feeling strong, feeling spacious, separating slightly the shoulder blades, pulling heart center forward as the shoulders melt down the back, all the way down through the heels. Inhale, externally rotate the palms as you lift up thick air and sink the hips back. Cat-cow 3 times. Inhale, open, suction through the palms, and exhale, curl, sink the hips even more. Inhale, open, wave the spine. Exhale, curl once more. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, and exhale, big step back with the left foot. The back knee plants. As it does, press into the right foot to lift yourself up. Actively draw right heel and back knee together on Janayasana. And exhale, hands plant on the ground or on the blocks. As the hips go back and the legs lengthen, pour forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the heart, reach it forward, and exhale, fold. Bend into the front knee. We begin to shift forward. Hands or blocks reach. L shape. Soft bend in the standing leg. Pull back on the outer hip crease. And then left toes find the ground off the right side of the mat as though arms wave back, curtsy. Big pull back on the right hip crease. Maybe even thumb comes in there. And then gather the ground to lift up. Left foot in line with the right, lift. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. This time separate the feet. Turn the toes out just slightly and lift the heels up. And then exhale, sink the heels down. Knees begin to track over the feet. We're gonna come all the way down into Malasana. Squat, sink, sink, sink. You can stay high here. You can also grab a block, wherever you'd like to be. Shift the heart forward just slightly. Right hand plants, left arm kind of peels like you're taking something sticky off the floor and peeling it up, stretching it out. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do the other side. Left hand plants. Kind of right hand plants next to it, then pick something up really sticky and stretch it out. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that once more each side because that feels good. So both hands over, press arm into leg, leg into the arm, pick something up, stretch it out. Hands heart center once more. Reach and open. And hands to heart center. Let's come back into Sukhasana. Sink the hips. Sukhasana, good space pose, good seat. Little spiral of the spine. Sit bones release down, crown reaches up. Hands to heart center. And thank yourself for showing up. And often it just takes a little bit to find some space, to check in with ourselves, just to research our relationship as we're always changing, so we've got to check in. One more inhale. Full exhale, pour forward. Maybe crown of the head just dips down to the ground and thanks. And coming back up. That's it, folks. I hope that you enjoyed. If you'd like longer classes and some deeper exploration, then head over to CCY Studio. We've got live classes over there and yeah, lots of long form classes, so lots of space. Not that you need it, because we can also, do it in a short amount of time, as we know. So I will see you somewhere on your mat.